Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of SEScoops, and today I am joined by your two-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, Chelsea Green. How are you today?
I am so good because, like you said, I am a two-time WWE Tag Team Champion and a future Hall of Famer, baby.
You definitely are. You are well on your way on that upward trajectory. Today, obviously, WWE just announced they will be returning to the Tampa Bay area next year for the 2024 Royal Rumble at Tropicana Field on Saturday, January 27th, and then Raw taking place 2 days later in Tampa. Florida is like a second home to you now, and obviously, the Royal Rumble is where you return to WWE this year. So I imagine this sparks some particular excitement from you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not only is it in kind of I'm in Orlando, but it's pretty close. We'll call it my hometown. Not only is it in my hometown, but this is also a very full circle moment for me. I plan on winning the 2024 Royal Rumble. And when I do, of course, I'm not only going to be a tag team champion, but I will go on to become a WWE Women's Champion. I mean, the world is my oyster right now, Ella.
It really is. You came back, and I mean, upon your return at the Royal Rumble, you achieved a record. I don't know if it's something you really wanted, but you have that record for you, Chelsea Green, as the fastest elimination in the Women's Royal Rumble history. So as you're looking towards this future, what record are you looking to shatter next?
Well, first of all, a record is a record. They can never erase that from WWE history. Um, But I'm not really focusing on records right now. I'm more so focusing on my amazing partnership with Piper and defending these championships. Also, checking in on my former partner, Sonya Deville, who is out right now. I'm just trying to focus on the now. I'm the now type of girl right now.
So let's talk about that now. You are a two-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. You are currently aligned with Piper Niven. You two have gotten off to an interesting start. I'm curious, have you two done any bonding exercises in and outside the ring to strengthen this partnership?
Um, we saged the titles together. That proved to not be as successful as we thought it was going to be, but that's besides the point. I think that the bonding is going to come in the next few weeks. I'm sure you can see how well we work together. We're a very cohesive unit right now, so we're just going to work on strengthening that bond.
Do you have any particular ideas that you think might help strengthen this bond?
I mean, no, not yet. I'm going to come up with those though. I am going to come up with those. And just time will tell how this partnership pans out. I really think we're in a good place right now. Piper doesn't really give off that vibe on Monday Night Raw, but behind the scenes, she loves me. She's very happy to be my partner. I'm working on getting her a new set of gear made. We're all positive things here, really.
Yeah, I think you two balance each other out really well. So I'm kind of from that aspect, what do you think Piper can learn from you, and what do you think you can learn from Piper?
Piper can learn a lot of things from me. I'm going to teach her those in the upcoming weeks. I like to show my personality. I like to give a little flavor. I like to show up to work in fun outfits that inspire me. Those are things that I can kind of slowly implement into her everyday life. And really she is my muscle. So I went to the gym today. I lifted the heaviest I've ever lifted, and those are the things that I'm going to take away from her.
See? Strengthening, right? Strengthening your strength right there, Chelsea.
That's
You're
a
doing
true champion mentality.
absolutely. And I find it fascinating because off screen too, you seem to have formed a solid friendship with Alpha Academy's Maxine Dupree. I see you two on TikTok driving it up there. Tell us more about how this friendship started and how you two kind of bonded together.
I am definitely a girl's girl. I love to go into the locker room and make friends, whether people want to be friends with me or not. They don't really have a choice when I get into the locker room and I hang out with them. But Maxine Dupree is one that from day one, I loved her. I feel the same about Tiffany Stratton. I have, my best friend Mackenzie Mitchell, who works at NXT. I've got a lot of really amazing friends on the roster. So Maxine is just another one to add to the list. I like traveling with her. We do fun things before Monday Night Raw. And maybe in the future you will see a little Maxine Chelsea connection. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, I feel like that might be meant to be. That might have to be a future title reign right there, Chelsea. You're gonna become like the longest reigning and the most number of championships for the women's tag team championships, right?
Yeah. So just maybe make sure you don't tell Piper that I said
Okay,
that.
I won't. I won't. I'll be sure she doesn't see this. You know,
Thank thank you.
before you and Piper officially linked up, you obviously held Chelsea's Got Talent auditions where you asked people to send in videos outlining their talents. But if we were to flip the script on you a little bit, do you have any hidden talents?
Oh, I have plenty of talents that you guys don't know about. I used to be a track star in high school. I set records in 4 by 400, 400, 100, 200, 4 by 100. Nobody ever talks about that. Everyone seems to be very obsessed with the EST and how she's great at everything. They forget about me, the EST as well. I also was a soccer player. I was the captain of my team and the MVP of my team. Played a little bit of basketball, a little bit of volleyball. Oh, and I forgot. I was also a dancer. I did tap solos. I did musical theater. I really am a Jill of all trades. And so that's why I feel like I'm the perfect person to host something like Chelsea's Got Talent because I am full of talent.
You know, you obviously seem to have a lot of athletic abilities in and outside of wrestling. You just rattled off all of those accomplishments. We've seen a lot of non wrestling athletes, some of them making their way into WWE and the professional wrestling world. So I'm curious from your outlook, are there any professional athletes right now that you think could make a legitimate impact in WWE?
Oh my g there's so many. This is the thing that I love about WWE. I love that people can come from any background and it helps them thrive, whether it's a specific sport, whether it is dance, musical theater, cheerleading, I mean, even influencers. Any of those things can help you in the WWE universe in a different way. And that's why people come and enjoy these shows. We all come from different backgrounds, and everybody who sits in the crowd can relate to someone on some level. Of course, I've got my eye on the Cavender twins because I did see that they came to
The
specific
ESPYs?
event and they were holding my titles. I slid into their DMs. I made sure that they knew I'm watching them. They're not going to go and sneak around touching my jewelry. But I am watching them because I do think that they have an amazing amount of potential. And of course, we're going to see people like Tiffany Stratton possibly come up to the main roster and showcase her talent there. And so many unbelievable talent right now at NXT that are coming from all different backgrounds. So I'm excited for what the future holds with NXT, with WWE, and I mean, with Next in Line too, with all the athletes that are coming through that program.
You know, you kind of segue this perfectly because we have seen several main roster stars now weaving themselves into the NXT product in recent months. You obviously have a background there. You talk about Tiffany Stratton. We won't talk about what happened last night at the time of recording this, but in surveying the NXT landscape right now, are there certain stars outside of Tiffany that you find yourself particularly impressed with, or maybe ones that you think people should be taking more notice of?
No, I really truly think that there are so many coming up right now. There is a certain Canadian girly that I'm not going to name right now, but she knows. I've been talking to her. I've been kind of helping her out in the gear department and things like that. She's going to come onto TV and really make an impact, I think. But I love JC and Gigi. I love the energy that they bring. They have a little bit of a dark side. I mean, I just think that roster is so talented, and I love that they're given so much time to showcase their talent. I watch every Tuesday and I study just to make sure that when they come up, I can be their friend, not their foe. And I think that in the upcoming year, you're gonna see, and maybe even at the 2024 Royal Rumble in Tampa, you're gonna see some talent come up and
Hmm.
change the game.
Hmm. You mentioned the gear department. That's not a hidden talent. That is a special talent of yours. The ring gear game, strong Chelsea Green. I'm curious when it comes to your ring gear game and your character presentation, where do you go to draw inspiration for your ring gear? Where do you look to for inspo?
So I don't a lot of I shouldn't say women actually. A lot of WWE superstars, they are movie fanatics and anime fanatics and things like that. I don't really draw inspiration from things like that. Every now and then I do, but I more so look at patterns and fabrics and think what is going to stand out on TV? What doesn't necessarily go naturally in the real world, but on TV it's going to shine. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. At this point, I know the color combinations that are going to work, that aren't going to work, that are going to stand out on TV and things like that. And on top of that, I've got a husband who has a lot of inspiration that he draws from. So between the two of us in this household, there is inspiration all over the place, and that's one of the most fun parts of this job is showing up on TV every single Monday wearing something that somebody didn't expect me to wear, and that's something I take pride in.
You mentioned earlier that you and Piper are kind of in the process of crafting some matching gear, so you work as a cohesive unit. Obviously, we're not going to tell too much. Do you kind of have a color scheme you might be thinking about right now?
So here's the thing. I do.
Hmm.
It's just a matter of whether she goes for it. So I definitely want to give her a little makeover. I want her to look like the badass queen that she is, while also just putting a little of Chelsea in there. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're a unit. We are a unit. We have to show up as a unit. And that's something that with time, Sonia and I were able to develop. She wasn't on board at first, but she slowly came around to it. And I kind of adopted the blacks for her, the black leathers and things like that. So with time, Piper's going to learn to love my gear choices for her.
Hmm. We talked about your ring gear game. Your facials game is also very strong. I know you've taken inspiration from a variety of sources. I know Maria Canales is one. So when it comes to your ring gear game, where are your sources that you look to strengthen that facial game?
Honestly, that's natural, baby. That is my mother and my father that gave me these. If you come and sit at the dinner table with us, we all have these facial expressions. We are all extremely expressive with our hands. You would think I was Italian from the amount I use my hands. Um, and the big eyes, everyone in my family has the big eyes. So this is just something that comes naturally. And then on top of that, Maria Canales really helped me hone that that skill of delivering the message that I want while also being the dramatic girly that I am. But there are so many people in life that inspire me, and I love what I love about kind of the person that I've always been in wrestling is that someone always says to me, okay, the facial expression that you said reminded me of this person, or the line that you used remind me of what I saw last week at the bar, things like that. So I'm able to draw inspiration from people's experiences and even WWE superstars experiences. So that's a fun thing about this.
Yeah, and I feel like your facial expressions and also your tone as well, just in general, you expressing yourself has also gotten you a lot of the things that you've wanted so far in WWE. You've overcome a lot of hurdles. You're back now at your dream job as one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So, if you don't mind, is there a specific scientific formula to getting what you want?
Yeah, the scientific formula is asking. And this is something that I continue to tell my coworkers, to tell people who want to be in NXT or WWE, to tell people who, want a raise or want a job, or you don't get what you don't ask for. It's very simple. If you don't ask, they have no idea that you want that. That is the key to life. And guess what? The worst that somebody can say is no, or maybe some profanities followed by a no. And guess what? I'm okay with that. If you say no, there's a million other opportunities. There's a million other questions I can ask. There's a million other ways that we can go about this. But I'm going to ask you. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Well, Chelsea, I'm going to ask you an important question too, because you talk about shining your knowledge on the members of the Raw locker room. Someone the Raw roster should definitely be taking notice of now is Nia Jax, who returned on Monday, attacking both Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley. That's my same reaction as well. But you're a member of the Raw locker room, so my question to you is, Chelsea, what are your thoughts on Nia Jax's return?
Um, I'm gonna plead the fifth. I am going to keep my little mouth shut, and if Nia wants to partner up or anything, I will be here, and that's all I'm gonna say. But, also she looked cute, loved the rhinestones, loved the gear, not gonna say anything else.
That might be smart of you. I respect it. I respect it,
I'm not
Chelsea.
just great hair, I'm not just great hair, I'm also very, very smart, Ella.
You have a great mind as well. And final question, we were talking at the beginning of this, your return to WWE. I was there in person at the Royal Rumble to see you return. It's now been 8 months since then. Time has flown by. How would you assess your return so far? Has it lived up to the vision that you set for yourself?
I mean, I am a champion. I'm a literal WWE champion. Isn't that what any wrestler wants? They
Yes.
can lie to you and they can say no, but I promise you, when they became a wrestler, their goal was to go to NXT, to get moved up to the main roster, and to become a champion. You know what I mean? This is it. I am literally living the wrestler's dream. This is it. And you have seen throughout my 10-year career the amount of times I've tried to get here, the hard work that's been put into this. This is all of that was for this moment. Um with that being said, I do have to say something to you. I'm wondering why that photo's in the background. And I feel like maybe I could send you a nice blown up poster of me. Maybe me and Piper.
I'm grateful. I will send you my address. I'm totally cool with that. Or WWE Shop needs to get on that. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I signed a bunch of posters the other day of me making my entrance. I looked very cute holding my
mm,
championship, so I feel like maybe I'll have to send that to you.
that's totally fine with me. I will gladly put it up. WWE Shop also just needs to put it online so we can purchase more. I'm just
Yeah,
saying. At
absolutely.
WWE Shop. This is the point where I would tell you to tell listeners where they can find you, but I already know you. You can find her on X at I'm Chelsea Green and on Instagram at Chelsea A Green. Chelsea, thank you so much for joining me here today. To a future WWE Hall of Famer, it's been an honor chatting with you here today.
Thank you, Ella. Love you.